What's up, everybody? My name's Trey. This is Denzel. Welcome back to Better Days Sports, your best place for sports news, information, talk, debates. It don't matter. We got your back. And in this episode, we'll actually be talking about the one, the only, the myth, the legend, Cooper Flagg. How we feel about him, some of his NBA comparisons done by ESPN that I think look, I'm gonna let the list speak for itself because there's a lot of blasphemy that goes on this list. I'm not gonna lie to you. But before we get into the episode, if you are new to the channel, new to the podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time we post a video. And leave a comment in the comment section down below. What is your NBA comp for the man, the myth, the legend, Cooper Flagg? But Denzel, go ahead and start us off, my boy.
First and foremost, I want to say that I respect Cooper Flagg. I'm proud of him for what he's done, advancing this far. He got a New Balance deal right now. Kudos to you, man. Wish you nothing but the best. Now that those formalities are out the way, I can clear the air with saying that I think this is one of the most overrated Duke basketball players in recent memory. The reason why is because while his stats are impressive, 19 points per game, almost shooting 50% from the field, 40% from the three, and 84% from the free throw line. All great things. One steal a game, one block a game. Stats amazing. Eye test looks good, but to have so much clout as he does right now, well, I think it's warranted because he's been playing well. I don't think it's not going to turn out people think it is. I'm not saying he's trash, but I'm just saying next level, he's going to look like an average NBA player with a good defensive upside. Again, I like the kid. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a competitor, fierce competitor. I think that's his best trait that's going to transfer well at the next level when it comes to mentality, physicality wise. Really don't know. Athleticism, he's average in the NBA. Don't get me wrong. In college, he didn't look average, but NBA, he's average, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of athletic guys in the NBA. It is what it is. I think where he shines the most at in the next level is his defensive ability, his ability to run the floor, and then his rebounding. I can easily see him averaging 5+ rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, easily as a rookie. That's how I feel about him, and I have more to say, but Trey got some comps. Let's hear these comps.
Well, so when it comes to Cooper Flagg, I feel similar to how you do in terms of I feel like he is being overhyped simply because now I feel like with the age of just like social media, we've seen people play basketball for so long. We have already expectations of them like dead set in our heads, and it kind of didn't matter what he did at Duke. We still thought he was going to be a number one overall pick. We're like, man, we saw him play on the Olympic team in some scrimmages, and he looked amazing. I don't care what he does. When he gets to the league, he's going to be great. So the fact that he did put up, he put up really good numbers, and we already imagined him to be this all-worldly type of talent. I definitely feel like he is overhyped coming out. Now, if they would have won the championship when it comes to the NCAA tournament, maybe that would have been a little bit more justified if he would have hit a game winner and we saw him in the finals versus Florida and they could have etched it out over Florida. Maybe you could have swayed me a little bit. But I feel very similar to you do when it comes to feel like he's overhyped. Don't get me wrong, I still think he had an amazing freshman season at Duke, but definitely overhyped coming out. So here are some of the comps that they have for Cooper Flagg. This is on ESPN, by the way. And let me just, before I start this, I want to apologize if you think that we made these comps. We'd make this. ESPN made this, and I feel every time they do these comps for college players, they are just so terribly wrong. But they have a ceiling comp for Cooper Flagg being prime Kawhi Leonard.
No. 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 Defensively, I already said he has a good upside, but offensively, he does not have that rock in his handle. He does not have that get my head down and get to the rack. Don't get me wrong. Again, he shot almost 6 free throws a game in college, but NBA, I just don't see it happening. I see him settling. They're going to try to make him a jump shooter for sure. I already know that. That's just how the league is. So he's an average at best jump shooter. Kawhi Leonard, no, just no.
Look,
That is
for
a very high ceiling, and no, no.
look, I maybe all time peak, maybe. You know what? I'm gonna be a little bit more optimistic than if I point
No.
Denzel up here. I could be optimistic. All time peak, everything goes right, maybe. Maybe they're seeing the advancement in Kawhi's game. Kawhi out of college wasn't the all defensive stopper. He wasn't galvanizing teams to rings on his back. Maybe this is potential. So comp ceiling, all time ceiling Kawhi. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Now this hold on. I see your face. This floor comp is something I hate. So the floor, this is worst case scenario for Cooper Flagg. He becomes Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom was like one of the best point forwards of all time. Like, where do you get that from Cooper Flagg outside of him being 6'9" and a thin frame as well? Again, he does not have that rock in his handle. I don't
Oh,
get
that's
that.
good.
I don't get that floor at all. Like Lamar Odom, Cooper Flagg. What? What?
I, it's awful. First of all, the fact that it says if your all time peak is Kawhi and your floor is Lamar, I don't know what type of player this is. I'm so confused.
Just doesn't add up at all.
No, their play styles are completely different. Um,
I don't even have to
yeah,
talk about
nothing about this is the same, and I feel bad that Lamar had to be brought up in this conversation because having this comparison, you don't understand how good Lamar Odom was at his craft. But
it.
yeah, okay. This one, I don't hate as much as I do the other two. His comp is Jason Tatum.
I take deep breaths on this because my goodness, the things that I'm hearing right now are just is insane. Jason Tatum, again, the mid range bag is not there like that with this young man.
I agree.
His handle is not like that. That's his biggest weakness to me on the offensive end. Is that he's a guy who gets up 13 plus shots a game, and his handle is not nice like that. To get up 13 shots a game in the league, his handle is going to have to improve. I don't see it improving like that over the course of a few months. So again, I think he's a transition threat. Now, don't get me wrong, he scored more than Tatum. He was just about on par rebounding with Tatum. Free throw about on par. And shot making about on par. He actually shot better from three than Tatum, but again, that just shows you what I'm saying is that we all seen the glimmer in Tatum. Like it's just he got it. Like all it takes is him getting in that gym and working on that shot. He worked on his shot. He got it. Cooper Flagg jumper is just not like that. I don't even see the glimmer in it. It don't even look as pretty as Jason Tatum jump shot. Bro, I, I don't see Cooper Flagg adding the weight to his frame the way that Jason Tatum did to to take those free throws and to take those tough layups and dunks that Jason Tatum is doing. Just because they both went to Duke, just because they both 6'8", 6'9", I don't I don't see it at all, man. I really don't. I'm gonna give my comps at the end of this, and yeah, go ahead, Cooper.
Look, Cooper, Flag, fans, supporters. I'm sorry for what Denzel has put y'all through today. Okay,
Like he don't have a post up fade like that, bro. Tatum got post up what? Like, bro, step back
Cooper
what?
Flag. Look,
Come on.
as Jason Tatum, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. They both went to Duke. They're both big guards. Sure, does Cooper Flag have some things he needs to work on? Yes. But do I see the comps? Yes, I do. I 100% see them as a big guard who's going to be able to create his own shot, play good defense, run in transition. I see the comp. Will it manifest? I don't know. But I see the comps. I feel like this is a lot closer than Kawhi and Lamar Odom, if I'm being honest with you. But I can understand where your hesitation lies. Now, as a second star comparison, you're gonna hate this so much, but they got him upside being Scottie Pippen.
Honestly, outside of the names I've heard so far, that's one that I can kind of get and understand more because Scotty wasn't like that. Don't get me wrong. I know Scotty could dribble a little bit. He did the point forward stuff. Don't get me wrong. I get that. I'm not calling him a point forward. But in today's modern NBA, do I think Scotty would be the point forward that he was in the 90s? No. I think he would be more of a 3 and D guy. I think that's what they're going to try to make Cooper Flagg into a prime 3 and D guy. I don't think Cooper Flagg is a franchise guy. I'm gonna get to that later. But out of all the guys I've heard, sure, I'll take that.
He's not going to be nearly the defender or the rebounder that Scottie Pippen was. I don't think this comparison makes sense. I feel like the better comparison is to Jason Tatum in terms of how he's going to play, which is going to be more finesse basketball. Will it be as pretty? Probably not. But I don't like this comparison at all. Now, last comparison ESPN has on their list, just a left field comp, which I'm really excited to see because, spoiler alert, this is my Cooper Flagg comparison. It's Andre Karolinko, and I love this comp. How do you feel about this one, Denzel?
I don't mind the comp just because I know that Karolinko did his thing on defense and offensively he necessarily wasn't a guy that you would go to, but he was a piece to the puzzle that could do his thing. Uh, I like it. I like it. I'm not mad at that one at all. See, I got better and I'm more calm now. Those first two is ridiculous. A traditional small forward role, I like that. I like that a lot. I don't have any qualms with that at all.
Yeah, like I said, this is mine to a T. Andre Carroll. I think he'll be a better scorer. I mean, his entire career, Karolinko only averaged about 11 points, 5 rebounds. So I can see Cooper Flagg more around the 16 to 20 range, just because I feel like he's going to get a lot of his stuff in fast breaks, just like majority of young players do, running the floor earlier in their careers. So I feel like the points are going to be higher, the rebounds are going to be higher, but he's going to be that second tier. As you said, he's not a franchise player that you're really going to build around. You're going to win championships with. But I feel like with Cooper Flagg being your number 2 or number 3 option, your team really has a chance to kind of get over the hump if you already have a good fundamental core kind of built up in what you have. But what's your comp, Denzel, since you weren't the biggest fan of this list?
Sure. I think Andre Karolinko will absolutely be his ceiling, the all-star, not somebody that's looked at as a threat here and there in the right position, in the right system. Sure, I get that. But, again, that's his absolute ceiling. I think what he's going to be, right, is more along the lines of a Larry Nance. This guy he's going to add weight. I see Cooper Flagg adding weight to his frame, but he's not going to be a muscle man. His genetics aren't muscle man like that. He's going to have a more of a thicker base, and that's why I say a Larry Nance. Now, Larry Nance is an athletic forward that can go up to power forward and also do small forward things because he's added a jump shot to his game. Jump shot wasn't necessarily his forte. Jump shot isn't necessarily Cooper Flagg's forte. Now, he's getting you rebounds, he's getting you dunks, he's getting you steals, he's getting you blocks. He's a good basketball player. That's what Cooper Flagg is, a good basketball player. I don't think Cooper Flagg is a hooper to where you can call him ISO and tell him to go get it done. Don't get me wrong. I know what he's done on the AAU circuit. I know what he's done in college. But at the NBA level, I don't see enough shift, enough wiggle in his dribble, enough creativity in the post outside the three-point line. I don't see it. I don't see him being quick enough off that first step. I don't see him having the counters. I don't see him being smooth like a Luka to hit nice step backs while you're not as athletic when the ball is in your hands. Again, I see this man being a good lob threat, a good corner three guy, a good glue guy because he went to Duke. He's already blue chip, right? Very good basketball player. That's what I see him being, right? That is my mid tier comp for him. I like Andre Karolinko as a ceiling. Mid tier comp, kind of on par. Larry Nance, guy has a long career in the NBA, does his thing. Now my floor for him that I see personally is Darius Miles with a jump shot. Now D Miles was an absolute dog athletically. Now I could be wrong. Cooper Flagg could not put on weight. He kind of stays the same weight frame right now to keep that athleticism at an all-time high and try to amplify it at the next level. Even though I think he's an average athlete at the next level, I think if he stays lighter and doesn't go heavier like a Larry Nance type build, he's more of a Darius Miles to where he's a small forward that is going to be able to guard ones, twos, and threes instead of guarding twos, threes, and fours if he picks up weight. So again, if he stays light, Darius Miles, and he'll be a defensive menace. I mean, he will be blocking a lot of shots. He will be getting a lot of steals. It will be showtime in transition. Will that equal a lot of points? Here and there, but I think that it really good depends on what team he goes to and what they try to what role they try to make him fit into. This Darius Miles comparison is not a diss at all. Darius Miles is a very good player. Darius Miles had a lot of injuries that cut his career short, and he couldn't see his ceiling. That being said, I don't want that to happen to Cooper Flagg at all. I'm just saying, lengthwise, when I'm looking at how I see him playing, the same type of wiry frame, the same type of athleticism, the same type of defensive potential, I see low. This is the floor. D Miles with a jump shot. So he'll probably average 13, 7, 1 and 1. He comes in as Larry Nance. I see him averaging 8, 10, 0.5, 0.5. They have him rebounding more. They have him shooting threes more. That's a Larry Nance. They have him playing in transition more, opening up the court for him, throwing lobs to him. That's more of a D Miles, right? They have him surrounded by a lot of other good players, and he's really into a good system that fits his game into a half-court offense. They can run sets for him, whatever those sets looks like. I hope it's not an isolation because, again, I don't see this guy being an ISO god in the NBA. Then you'll get an Andre Karolinko, where you'll get that cool 14, 15, 16 points a game, 6, 7 rebounds, 6, 4, 5 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, to where you're like, ooh, this cat looking like rookie of the year right now. So those are his 3 comparisons. I like the Andre Karolinko. Mid-tier, Larry Nance with a little bit more athleticism. If he adds weight, that's Larry Nance, mid-tier. And then the floor is Darius Miles with the jump shot. That's my Cooper Flagg take. I've been waiting to come out with this for the longest, man. Again, I think the guy's phenomenal. He's must-see TV. He brings a lot of joy to the game, a lot of passion. I like that. And I wish him nothing but the best at the next level. Really do. I hope he stays healthy. He's going to make a lot of money for sure. For sure.
Okay. Interesting. I did not expect you to go that way at all. I didn't expect you to have his overall levels be so low, if I'm being completely honest with you. So I'm just going to go 2 tiers. I understand. I'm going to go 2 tiers, and I don't think you're going to like my first one.
Go ahead.
But it's okay. So Andre Karolinko, you are my floor. There's no middle. The floor is, I think, going to be a very solid, 15, 16 point game guy, going to be second option. My ceiling for you, and it's going to be a weird comparison, it's going to be Jimmy Butler. I think early on in your career, you're going to have some struggles when it comes to scoring the basketball. You're going to rely on your defense, scoring in fast break, and just being an absolute dog. And then once you kind of define your role, kind of define your jumper, I think he's going to get a 2-dribble pull-up game, a turnaround in the lane fadeaway. He's going to get some mid-range shots going, and he's going to look very similar to Jimmy Butler. So those are my two comparisons. My ceiling, Jimmy Butler. I mean, he took the Heat to the finals one year because he got that dog in him. So does Cooper Flagg got that dog in him? Maybe. Floor, Andre Karolinko. So those are my two. How you feel about the Butler one? Let me see what you feel about that one.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all because I know the Cooper Flag. Again, he's a blue chip guy. He's a hard-working guy. Do I think he's a franchise player? No, I don't. But since he is a small forward with that chip on his shoulder and that rough and that grit to his game, he's not a pretty boy out there. He goes out there and gets it done. I like the Jimmy Butler. I like it because I don't think he's ever going to shoot the ball at a high clip. Jimmy Butler doesn't shoot at a high clip. Exactly. I think Jimmy Butler has more of a how can I say this? He's more of a burly guy than Cooper Flagg is. So it really depends on, again, what I said, body, what he puts on, muscle wise, fat wise, in the next level. But I can vibe with a Jimmy Butler. Do I think his ceiling is high as Jimmy Butler? I don't know, because Jimmy Butler is, I'm not going to say the full word, but he's an a-hole. Right? And I'm not sure if Cooper Flagg has that a-hole in him to be a Jimmy Butler type of player. That's my whole thing. So, but I like the comparison, though. That's a good comparison. I rock with that more than I rock with Lamar Odom. I can tell you that.
Out left. But ESPN does this all the time. Well, they'll take a lottery pick and be like, oh, I see some magic mixed with Wilt. Like, how? Where are you looking? What are you looking at exactly? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh,
so,
man.
Still on Cooper Flagg.
I like that.
Do you see Cooper Flagg coming back to school?
Nah, he would be crazy to come back to school. Like I said, he just signed a New Balance deal. From what I understand, that would be crazy to go back to North Carolina, Dookies, and some New Balances. You feel me? I think now is the time to come out. If he comes back, I think his draft stock will decrease next year, and it won't look as good for him personally. I just don't. I think teams will adjust to him over there in that conference. While he will have more of a leadership role than he did his freshman year, cool. And he can improve on that jump shot, cool. But now you're going to look out of place taking 5 to 8 threes a game versus just 2 to 4 threes a game in your freshman year. Again, I don't think jump shooting is his strength. I think he played to his strengths as much as he could freshman year. You've done what you need to do. Come out now while your stock is high. Get the bag. Ride this off into the sunset after that rookie contract. I'm telling you, he's gonna be in the league for a long time. He's a dookie. Come on now.
Yeah, I have two very opposing views on this.
Go ahead.
Like Cooper Flagg come out early. So when I see a rookie who like obviously has holes in his game, I'm like, man, this is a prime example of why you would want to go back to Duke and be able to come more polished before you come out. The problem is you can do nothing at Duke to increase your stock price at this point in time. So you go back, you could average 30, win championship, hit some game winners. You still going to be the first overall pick. So, like, it doesn't really matter. But let you have one bad game or you slip on the floor again, they'll start really having some conversations like, oh, you know what, maybe somewhere the way he ties his shoes means he's going to slip every third game, means that you can't win in the NBA. And something weird's going to happen and his stock's going to fall. Only other thing is, if I'm a player, especially with how much money they make now, I think draft order really matters. Or it's going to start mattering more. Okay. Because especially now with this crop of athletes coming out, they're making legit money, and not that under the table, like the kids are millionaires. They don't need money. They're not racing to the league to support their families themselves, because what they're making in college does that. So if you're Cooper Flagg and you're like, hey, the Spurs have the number one pick, or Oklahoma City somehow randomly gets the number one pick because they have so many, it's like, yeah, let me go out and go to an organization who's going to care about my future. If I look up and the Wizards have the number one overall pick, I'm like, maybe I do want to come back to Duke.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
I do not want to have to go somewhere and potentially go from no kid's dream. It's like, I want to go to the NBA and never be like household name, never be talked about. I just had a good career.
Don't play on TV.
Yeah, like I want to go and be the best player of all time. I want to compete for championships, and where you get drafted actually matters.
1,000%.
Hey, Trailblazers, I don't know if I want to go over there. Hey, Wizards, have you been good in my lifetime? Hey, Hornets, y'all can't draft to save your life, and your star is never healthy. So I think these consensus number one picks, especially because of the endorsement deals, sponsorship deals, how much they're making in NIL. I think this might actually be a real conversation if Cooper Flagg wants
Mm,
to come back to school next year, depending on the draft order.
I get it now. That's a good breakdown. It really is because I think I forget his name. There's a guy in college who just got $4 million
The
NIL.
BYU kid?
Oh my goodness, no, he don't go to BYU. What's his name? He's skipping the NBA draft for $4 million. JT Toppin, that's his name. JT Toppin, $4 million. So what you're talking about is very on brand, because he's like, well, shoot, my draft stock isn't going to allow me to probably get that 4 million like that coming out. I can go to college and get 4 million, and then go to the league and get whatever they gonna get. They was probably gonna give me last year,
Facts.
because we all know rookie deals is kind of
Yeah, they not rookie deals
you
is not
get
where you make money. It's that
yeah,
first contract after that. Yep.
yep, yeah. JT Toppin expected to be paid 4 million NIL earnings at Texas Tech. You telling me Duke
Yeah.
can't get you 10 mil? Telling me Duke can't get you 10 mil?
Look, Duke probably says, "Look, we got you that New Balance
Ooh,
contract.
Trey
Okay, we don't
cooking,
need to give you 10 mil. You got this New
Trey
Balance contract. You
Trey
want that?
cooking.
You want that condo? You want
Ooh,
front row
ooh.
tickets to every sporting event? We might not be able to pay you NIL, but we have people that give
These
donations. Okay, we're on some
benefits,
boards of some foundations. Okay,
donations,
yeah, and then man,
donations.
also if I'm Duke, I'm in Cooper's ear, like man, Cooper, yeah, you're still a number one pick, but do you want to be known as the best Duke player of all time? You can only do that if you come back.
Duke is good for that, man. Despite recent history, Duke was one of those schools that, again, blue chip that kept guys for a long time.
Facts,
You
facts.
know what I'm saying? And they love the college environment so much because it's like they run that area that they're in. I don't give me North Carolina. Don't come at me. Don't come
I,
at me,
I,
University of North Carolina. But we all know when Duke is on top, it's Duke time. When y'all on top, it's y'all time. And Duke on top right now, so it's Duke time. Right? It's Dukies, as y'all call them in North Carolina Tar Heel fans. Call them Dukies. But yeah, Trey hit a really good point. I like that. That's a very good angle. I didn't see that coming. I like the way you did that. I didn't see that coming.
I'm telling you, baby. I pay attention to economics. I see my prices of eggs. I know what these boys thinking. I get it. I get it. So, like
Facts.
I said, we really want to hear your opinions on this topic specifically. Put them in the
Please.
comments. Who is your draft NBA comparison when it comes to Cooper Flagg? Like I said, a lot of options you can go. If you put Lamar Odom in the comments, please don't, because it makes literally no sense. And let us know anything else you want us to talk about in the comment section down below. I think another episode is going to be NIL contracts and what that actually looks like for players, because, like I said, some players might be going back. I've seen one of these teams' average age was older than the Oklahoma City's age. So, a lot of crazy things happen in sports right now, but really hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'm Trey Denzel, and this is Better Day Sports. Leave a comment if you could. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.